Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you could join us for this first installment of Topical Tuesday for the FY22 school year. Today's topic is the new and improved F.I.N.D.S research model. Media specialists and supervisors from around the state were hard at work last year and this summer to revamp and redo F.I.N.D.S to make it much more user-friendly for you. Previously, it was convoluted and cumbersome, so now I think you'll find it much more streamlined and easy to use. Make sure your microphone is muted when you aren't speaking, and please use the triangle, circle, square option for in Google Meets for questions. That'll help me keep track of it. To sign in, go to bit.ly/Topical Tuesday, FY22. Put that in the chat, and we'll get going. All right, I wanted to share this with you. It's about why we need it to teach information literacy and research.
I've been a journalist now since I was about 17, and it's an interesting industry to be in at the moment because, as you all know, there's a huge amount of upheaval going on in media. And most of you probably know this from the business angle, which is that the business model is pretty screwed, and as my grandfather would say, the profits have all been gobbled up by Google. So it's a really interesting time to be a journalist, but the upheaval that I'm interested in is not on the output side, it's on the input side. It's concerned with how we get information and how we gather the news. And that's changed because we've had a huge shift in the balance of power from the news organizations to the audience. And the audience for such a long time was in a position where they didn't have any way of affecting the news or making any change. They couldn't really connect, and that's changed irrevocably. And my first connection with the news media was when, in 1984, the BBC had a one-day strike. I wasn't happy, I was angry, I couldn't see my cartoons, so I wrote a letter. And it's a very effective way of ending your hate mail. Love Markham, aged 4, still works. I'm not sure if I had any impact on the one-day strike, but what I do know is that it took them 3 weeks to get back to me. And that was the round journey. It took that long for anyone to have any impact and get some feedback. And that's changed now because as journalists, we interact in real time. We're not in a position where the audience is reacting to news. We're reacting to the audience. And we're actually relying on them. They're helping us find the news. They're helping us figure out what is the best angle to take and what's the stuff that they want to hear. So it's a real-time thing. It's much quicker. It's happening on a constant basis, and the journalist is always playing catch-up. To give an example of how we rely on the audience, on the 5th of September in Costa Rica, an earthquake hit. It was a 7.6 magnitude. It was fairly big, and 60 seconds is the amount of time it took for it to travel 250 kilometers to Managua. So the ground shook in Managua 60 seconds after it hit the epicenter. 30 seconds later, the first message went onto Twitter. And this was someone saying temblor, which means earthquake. So 60 seconds was how long it took for the physical earthquake to travel. 30 seconds later, news of that earthquake had traveled all around the world instantly. Everyone in the world, hypothetically, had the potential to know that an earthquake was happening in Managua. And that happened because this one person had a documentary instinct, which was to post a status update, which is what we all do now. So if something happens, we put a status update, or we post a photo, we post a video, and it all goes up into the cloud in a constant stream. And what that means is just constant, huge volumes of data going up. It's actually staggering. When you look at the numbers, every minute there's 72 more hours of video on YouTube. So that's every second more than an hour of video gets uploaded. And in photos, Instagram, 58 photos are uploaded to Instagram a second. More than 3,500 photos go up onto Facebook. So by the time I'm finished talking here, there'll be 864 more hours of video on YouTube than there were when I started, and 2.5 million more photos on Facebook and Instagram than when I started. So it's
I just wanted to show that snippet of that video to show just how fast information travels. And this was from 2012. This was from 2012. So the proliferation of the social media and all of this has grown since then. And our kids are inundated with so much information, as are we. So we really need to teach them those information literacy skills. So when AASL redid their standards, they built in, of course, the need for information literacy. I just wanted to highlight a few. In the Inquire, we have learners display curiosity and initiative by formulating questions about a personal interest or topic they recall prior and background knowledge. In Create, learners engage with new knowledge by following a process that includes using evidence to investigate questions. These are the skills that are going to keep our children from buying into this fake news. These are the skills that are going to keep our students learning and inquiring and questioning the things that they read. Learners responsibly, ethically, and legally share new information with the global community, teaching them to use information in a responsible way. And then learners develop through experience and reflections by iteratively responding to challenges. And learners engage with information to extend personal learning by personalizing their use of information and information technologies. These standards that we need to teach are built right into the AASL framework for learners. So we've had a whole bunch of research model options. You may be familiar with some of these. We've got the Stripling model of inquiry. Barbara Stripling was quite famous for developing this. We've got the Big Six and the Super Three. All of them work. All of them are fine. They all get to the same place, but Florida has its own model. It's the F.I.N.D.S model if you're not familiar with it. F stands for focus, I investigate, N for note take, D develop, and S used to stand for score, and now we've changed it to self-evaluate. The F.I.N.D.S model fosters standards-based inquiry within disciplines. It provides a framework for research and writing. It works with any discipline. So this is really going to allow you to collaborate with your teachers, right? It's going to give you that framework to teach research and to collaborate with your teachers, giving them a framework to teach the skills that they need to teach in their classroom. It broadens student learning, thinking, and communication, those skills we really want them to have, and it's aligned to the best standards. It was redone this past summer. I'm going to show you the more streamlined version of it. I think you will really appreciate what's taken place and what's transpired. We had 2 Palm Beach County media specialists that sat on the committee. Amy Armbruster sat on the high school committee, and Debbie Tanner sat in on the K2 committee, and I was on the K2 committee as well. What is F.I.N.D.S? It is a model for instruction in information literacy. It's going to give you those standards to hit within your media lessons. It's a tool for students to acquire the skills and practice them to be a proficient information seeker. This is what we want. We want kids to be able to understand and comprehend the information that they're seeing and taking in, and to be able to decipher what's real and what's not. It's going to promote highly successful information seekers, resource finders, and creators of literary works. To go into it a little further, what you're seeing here is the draft of the graphic that's going to be used and unveiled probably at F.I.N.D. There will be a session on this at F.I.N.D. run by the state. But this will be the new graphic that we can share with our students. Again, still in the draft model. So the focus is a place for your students to pinpoint their topic or problem, identify that information that they need, and to make a research plan. There are lots of tools in the works to help your students make those plans from elementary, middle, and high school. Your investigators are going to evaluate those sources that are available to them and select the best sources for the topic or problem. and to be able to locate the information needed in the sources. To note take, we're taking notes and recording data, analyzing information gathered, and organizing notes. A couple of great tools to use with this would be Destiny Collections. It would be a great place for them to gather all of their research in one place. Students, of course, can make their own collections, and possibly a Google Keep, where they can organize and color code their research using that instead of note cards. They'll always have those Google Keep notes with them. They're going to then want to develop. They're going to select a presentation format, organize that relevant information into presentation, present information ethically to respect those intellectual property rights. And then we want them to self-evaluate it. This used to be SCORE. And it's not, the score that they get on their research project is less important than their ability to self-evaluate and to apply a rubric or a scoring criteria to the presentation. Did they meet the criteria that the teacher set out? What could they do to improve that presentation or that paper or that video? Reflect on the strengths and the weaknesses of the presentation, and then revise and edit it based on those reflections, right? We want our kids to be users of information and not afraid to share those opinions or to put those things out there. We really want to give them that time to self-evaluate and to, develop those deeper understandings. So F.I.N.D.S is not new. It's been around for quite some time. It is newly updated and streamlined. So this is a snapshot, and I know it's small, of what the kindergarten model looked like. This was, I think it was 5 or 6 pages long. That is way too much information for kindergarten students. That is way too much information for a kindergarten teacher. It was just clunky. I never used it, not because it wasn't good, but because it was so cumbersome to use. The new one is so much better, aligned to those best standards, easier to use, easier for you to use, easier for your students to use, and more importantly, easier for your teachers to use. This is a quick snapshot of what it would look like for kindergarten now. Okay, this is kindergarten, by the way, through 2nd grade, all in one page. Kindergarten through 2nd, those primary users, we group them together, and all of the indicators are in one place, much more streamlined. All right, I'm going to stop sharing this tab, and I wanted to share with you what the old one looked like. So you can see just how cumbersome it was. So this was the 5th grade model, right? All of the standards, very cumbersome, and you can see really long. I mean, we'll keep going. Right, so this is, as you can see, it's really quite long. It's 15 pages long. This is far too much. I agree, Lisa. It is absolutely absurd. It is far too long for a 5th grade model of research. So if I come take a look at, this is the new 3rd through 5th grade model, you can see how much more streamlined. It's 2 pages long. It is easier to use. Everything is in one place. It is not too much for your students. It makes teaching research so much easier. We put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this. If you're going to FAME, I highly recommend going to that presentation to see the unveiling of the new F.I.N.D.S model and all of the resources that are going to come along with it. I wish I had those resources to share today. They have yet to be approved by the DOE. This, however, is approved by the DOE and is up on the DOE website. You can access all 3 levels. We've gone through, there were 11 different levels that they had in the research model. It has been streamlined down to 4, K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, 12. Again, all the standards are already there, as well as the expectations. Expectations are across the top, best standards are across the side. All right. I just saw a couple of questions. ladies, so these standards are included in the elementary lesson plan. They are the research standards. They are not the updated ones. It is the old model that is in that plan. This was not yet updated. F.I.N.D.S is on the DOE. I'll pull that up. There's our main page, and you'll see it's broken down into the kindergarten through second, third through fifth, sixth through eighth, and 9 through 12. Super easy to find. Once all of the additional materials are ready to go, those will be located here as well, but I will, of course, send them out to you. Lots of great information here. You can have reads and your Excel rubric. That is our library program evaluation tool. But I just wanted to give you an overview of the new F.I.N.D.S and take a quicker look at it. So you'll see in the 5th grade how much easier it is. And it has what the student will do. Super easy, easy for you to pop into your plans, easy for you to share with teachers. And I hope that you will start to use this. Do I have any questions on this before I go on? All right, good. I hope you will start using this in your classrooms, in your media center with your teachers. Please share it with your teachers. It's really great information for them. And I think that it will help them hit those research standards that they have such a hard time getting to, right? I keep hearing that our students aren't prepared for the college research experience. My own son said it. I've heard it from Palm Beach State, and I'm now teaching information literacy at USF. And the studies are showing our students are not getting to college prepared for the level of knowledge that they need for research. And if we can start them in kindergarten, asking those questions, doing those research projects, they are ethically using materials, they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready for college when they get there. You're right. Kids love doing research projects. It's been so difficult for the classroom teacher, and we can get them to take that deeper dive into inquiry. This is a great way to collaborate with your teachers. If they're studying a specific topic, you can take that deeper dive into inquiry projects in the media center. It's a great way for you to collaborate with your teachers. I just want to highlight, coming up on October 15th is the technology conference. It will be virtual, it will be interactive, and it will be live. Please, 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 please come. There will be a special media specialist track. Many of your media specialists are presenting, and I know that you'll learn so much. That day of professional learning is the technology conference. We are not going to be hosting specific library media PD that day. However, on November 11th, we will be hosting PD at Palm Beach Gardens High School. It is called Sparking Change in Your Media Center. It will be coming to e-learning soon. It's going to be at Gardens High School in person. We will be together in person, so please sign up. We would love to have you there. I will be co-presenting with John Long, and hopefully whoever the new specialist in library media is. We had lots of interest, many great candidates, and I'm excited to see who's going to come join me up here at the district in library media. And please continue to tag us on social media. I would love to see what you're doing, but more importantly, your administration and upper leadership needs to see what you're doing. Please show the amazing, valuable things that you are doing every single day. They are taking up and noticing those things. It's so important. This year particularly, we have, I believe it's 12 positions that are currently vacant. I have been reached out to by some schools where they would like to turn their library into a testing center. We cannot allow that to happen. They need to see the valuable work that media specialists are doing every day. It is so unfortunate that it is incumbent upon us to be the ones that are sharing the amazing things that we do, but we really have to do it. We really have to share it, and we have to tag them every single time we do it. They need to know. for points. Register for this in e-learning. You can get up to 20 points. There is one simple follow-up at the end of the series. If you can't make a session, that's fine. You can watch it on your own. I will record every single one, and you can get credit if you're watching the recorded version as well. The follow-up is just one culminating activity. And next time will be October 5th. We're going to be talking everything Battle of the Books. I'm going to be inviting some of our media specialists to talk about how they run Battle of the Books, to give you ideas about how to run that. This year, the Battle of the Books should look normal, much like it has in every other year. All of our students are in person, and hopefully everything going well. Our grand battle will be in person at the Education Network in February. So make sure you tune in for the October 5th Battle of the Books, and I will see you soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to stay on, and have a great afternoon.